Right now, Wukong is in the middle of an identity crisis, so let's talk about it. Wukong's passive and Q are designed for a bruiser, specifically a fighter, who is meant to get into long fights doing damage with a low cooldown Q and a passive that buffs his armor and regen while maintaining him over the fight. His W, E and R, however, are aimed more at an assassin diver playstyle, having a stealth on W to sneak around and reposition, a targeted dash on E to get you into range quickly, and finally, a hard hit in R that does some decent damage, as well as applying not one, but two knockups to stop enemies being able to react. This means that half of Wukong's kit wants him to quickly get in and pop some enemies and then get out, while the other half wants him to stay in the fight and keep him fighting while maintaining himself through his passive. While his kit is built this way, he will always have an identity crisis and will never be able to truly commit to one of these roles. Well, how do we fix him? I thought about this and honestly, it will have to be a rework. I have some ideas with most focused on him becoming more of a frontline fighter and others focused on him becoming more of an assassin designed to all in and one shot. For this video, we will discuss the fighter ideas as this is the direction I think he needs to go. For the fighter, I think the passive is fine and the only change I will probably make is reverting the regen to 3% at max stacks. It gives you stacking scaling armor to keep you in the fight and some decent regen to heal you back up as well. The Q in its current version is also great for a fighter as it's a spammy low CD that does decent damage and applies armor shred. I also look to the likes of Dota 2 and Smite for a different Q, and another alternative is for the Q to be a line skill shot that deals damage, applies on hit, stuns, and has its range increased through skill ups. The W, I would keep it similar to how it currently works, but remove the stealth. This way the focus is on having a short dash that can go over walls, but also focuses more on the clone. I'd look to reduce its base cooldown, but also have the clone duration scale with skill ups in W, and have the clone be able to move so it has a means of keeping on top of enemies rather than becoming useless if they take a few steps away. The other idea is to keep the stealth, but only for the duration of the dash, to quickly confuse enemies and then see you reappear with a clone. For the E, I think we could keep the dash, but change it to be a skill shot, that if you hit the target, it applies a slow and hits in an AoE. I had the idea of Wu charging on his Nimbus, and when he hits, he jumps off and spins the staff around. This would keep in line with a dash that does an AoE, but isn't just a target dash and even has some CC. The other idea I had is for him to spin his staff around quickly to hit enemies, similar to Smite, but I think keeping the Nimbus dash is a better option. Finally, the R, I would completely remove it. I came across an ult that I thought would be perfect, which would be a mix of a Pantheon ult and his current. You would target a nearby location and Wu would jump into the air before his staff hits in a big AoE in the location targeted. This would deal damage and stun enemies, and Wu would land next to the location as it goes off. This would give you a way to hit with some strong damage and a strong CC while putting you in the middle of a fight. It would be more balanced than the current R, as tenacity can reduce the stuns, and you can only have one charge, while also giving you the same results you want from the current R. He would also need some buffs to his base stats to put him more in line with other fighter bruisers. And right now, I think his biggest issues are his base HP, HP growth, and base magic resist. A few solid buffs to his stats would make him a better frontliner that is focused on getting in to the middle of a fight and getting scrappy, while also keeping his kit similar to how it currently works. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!